I am the owner of Boss Curl Co. Today you will be doing the Frizz Off Kit method. Congratulations, you are going to embrace your curls and have a great time in figuring out what works for you. Now we're going to give you the basics, but please note that you can use less or more product and certain things might not work for you specifically, so try and try again. So first up, we're going to wash and condition our hair. Now I have a certain method that I use. I'm only going to talk you through it because we all know how to wash our hair, but I've just got a few tips and tricks to try. So first off, wet your hair under some lukewarm water. And I like to do this all upside down. So flip your hair over. And the reason that I do that is because when you're washing and conditioning your hair, you want the back of your hair to get most of the pressure of the water, because it means that the top of your hair won't get all that damage, and underneath, you don't necessarily see it as much, so it's easier. It creates less damage on the top of your hair. So flip your hair over and wet it with lukewarm water, and then we use our shampoo, the Hydrate shampoo. This is going to give you as much hydration as possible. I use 1 or 2 pumps of this, and then add some water and lather it in your hands first, and then just add it to your scalp. Do not bring it through all the way down to your hair. Now, if you want to add extra hydration and not let it touch the ends of your hair, put a little barrier of conditioner on the ends only first, and then shampoo. Once you have rinsed out your shampoo in lukewarm water, we suggest now adding your conditioner to your mid to the ends. So only from here down. So when your hair's upside down, it would just be the ends, okay? Don't add it to your scalp because that's going to weigh your curls down, and we don't want that. Okay, conditioning, what we recommend is to add to your mid to the ends only. Do not add it to your scalp. That is just going to weigh your curls down, which we don't want. Detangle using as much of this as works for your hair. Every hair is different. I use about 4 pumps, and I just make sure that I detangle using my fingers while my hair is over, like so. And then what I also do is when it's wet and full of conditioner, I just scrunch it, just the ends, just to squish in that conditioner. Leave it for a little while, maybe like a minute, and then rinse out with cold water. This is going to seal your cuticle and give you less frizz. You don't have to do that, but I would recommend at least lukewarm water if you can't handle cold water. But the cold water helps your body and your hair at the same time. So if you can try and get used to it, I would suggest doing that. And then we wrap our hair up in our pink hair wrap. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it because there's been a lot of confusion on how to wrap your hair in our hair wrap. So all I do is, because I want it really wet, I just flick it like that, pop your hair in, twist, and then tie it back. Very easy. But what we're going to be doing is taking it out now. So I leave that in and just do my makeup, and then I start to do my hair. So because it has dried a little bit, I like to work on very wet hair. That's how my hair works best, but your hair might work best on damp hair. So trial both, see what works for you. So firstly, I section. And then I use our mister bottle, and I just spray as much water as I feel is going to work best. I just want it to be quite wet so that when I add my product, it's going to slip through. Okay. Now we get our leave-in conditioner, Curl's Best Friend. I personally only use a little bit. I have very fine hair, so for me, little bits at a time. And because we're sectioning, you obviously don't want to put too much in. You can distribute this by emulsifying, just keep, so then that's going to spread further, and then just add through to each section as much as you can. So always add leave-in conditioner. This is going to help your hair stay hydrated, especially while you're using other products. And then we use our Curl Talk defining curl gel. I again have very fine hair, So I don't want to use a lot, very, very small amount, and I spread it all through as well. Try different amounts, like I've said, because each curl is different. You might have very thick hair, so you'll need to add a lot more. But if you have fine hair and a lot of it like me, again, it might work better by using less. All right, now we have the fun part of styling our hair so that we create clumps. The Frizz Off kit is different to all the other kits. This one is you're going to create a very defined curl. It's one that is going to get rid of the most frizz, okay? So bring out the tension. We're gonna add the brush under. We're gonna go down all the way to the end and then twirl it. And we continue to twirl and then we just unravel, okay? That is one way that you can do this. You can do it another way if you're not really into that and big clumps. What you can do, now remember to always pull out so that you're going to create as much volume as possible. You can just brush it through and just twirl the end, let it go and shake it out and then scrunch. So 2 ways that you can do this. I prefer the first way because after I will show you exactly how we create more volume. All right, so I'm going to do the rest of my hair really quickly to show you how I go about this. So once you've done your section, then you scrunch and create a little bit more of a curl. What you can also do is you can micro plop, get your microfiber wrap, and this is going to dry as well, some of those curls, so that when you go through and diffuse it or let it air dry, it's going to be a lot quicker for you. And as you can see, there's a lot more curls here now than on this side because we have scrunched. This is a very important step if you want extra curls. If you don't and you want your hair to be more flat, then I would suggest not scrunching. So I'm going to go and do my whole head. So for the few little bits around the front, I just start to section a little bit smaller. And we also have a mini brush that is really good for these sections, but we're going to use the big brush because it still works. It's just a little bit easier with the mini brush. So you can continue to do that, or you can actually take little pieces and you can twist and let them drop and then scrunch, or you can roll them if you prefer. So that's just a matter of grabbing the ends and letting your fingers roll it up, hold it for a second and then let it go. And it's going to create still a curl for you. I'm going to continue with my brush because I prefer using a brush, but that's just me. Try everything. Obviously, everyone's hair is different and the way that you do things might be different to another curly person. It really just depends on how your hair is and how it goes with certain techniques. That's why we always say practice and experiment and try different things all the time. Okay, now we've gotten to my fringe. Now this is the first time that I am styling this fringe. I haven't had a fringe for a while, so I hope that it works out. Every time I've had a fringe, I've never really liked it, but so far so good in this one. So we're just going to be I'm going to be really gentle because I just don't want too much frizz in my fringe. So I'm just going to be using the other method that I just showed you before, just by twisting once, letting it drop, shake it out a little bit, and then scrunch. Now, if you find that it's too clumpy, pull them apart and just do some individual twirling. . 'Cause scrunch it out. All right, there we go. So that's our hair wet. So what I'm going to show you now is how to diffuse. So you can let your hair air dry, which is perfectly fine. I would just continue to just shake slightly here and there, but mostly try not to touch your hair too much. Let it dry, or you can diffuse. I have just a VS Sassoon 3Q. This is very old, but it works, and I use it on medium heat and medium blast. Diffuser, a little diffuser here. So this can work this way, or you can just simply move it and pop it inside like that, so that if your nozzle is really big, then it's going to be able to fit. But for me, this one fits perfectly fine. It is universal. It fits most hair dryers, but only when they have a nozzle. So the Dyson, it's not going to work, but the Dyson has one like this anyway. So there you go. Fits perfectly, and we're ready to go. All right, so before I start, I'm just going to shake my hair out a little bit just so it doesn't stick too much to my scalp. We do want still a little bit of volume. I'm not going to root clip. I don't like it personally, but if you think that root clipping works best for you, please do so now. So as I said, medium heat, medium force. I don't know what to say that. What I'm going to do is hover over my hair first, so that I'm going to dry the scalp first, because then if the scalp's dry, then everything else dries quicker. So next I start to dry the mid section, which is in here. A lot of people like to flip their hair over to do diffusing, but because we've spent so much time making sure that our curls and clumps are really nice, I don't do that, because I just think that it breaks them up and it just ends up a nightmare basically, and you get frizzy hair. So that's not what we're trying to do in this particular method. The other methods we do that, this one we don't. So mid is just in here in these sections for each side, and at the back as well. Now we're still continuing to be really quite gentle with our curls. Other methods, we're not so gentle, but because the aim of the game is frizz off, we're trying to be really gentle with our curls and not move them around too much. So try not to get too haphazard with them. What we can do after it's dry though, then we can get a little bit more less gentle. But the aim is to create these coils while we're doing this, so that they're set, and once they're set, then we can go about and help with volume. Now, if your aim is to be really, really, really curly, you can start to add some volume. And what we do here is we just gently pop up, turn it on. And let it go, okay? So you can do that if you prefer. I don't matter so much because I don't mind an elongated curl, but that's another way to add more volume into your hair. Also, if you have a fringe, you might need to do that a little bit as well. You're going to start to feel a little bit of a cast. That means that your hair is going to start to feel crunchy. Don't scrunch it. Wait until it's completely dry, and then I'll go through that as well. Just don't scrunch it out yet. Let it go. It won't stay like that, I promise. All right, so you might have crispy hair. Don't stress. As I said, we have a trick now on how to help your hair become a bit more voluminous and also get rid of that crunch. So first, what I like to do is just scrunch my hair a little bit just so that crispiness is out of there. Make sure you do this when your hair is 100% dry, so there is less frizz. So you have a lot of these barrel curls. What I like to, you can keep them if you want, but I personally like to pull them apart because I like a lot of volume. So all you need to do is just grab the top and just let them gently come apart and then re-twirl them so that they are separated. That's going to create a massive amount of volume rather than letting it continue the way that it is. So we're going to go through and we're going to do that to the rest of our hair. Your hair should feel really soft by now. If it's feeling too producty, you might have put too much product in which case next time you do this, just use a little less. Less is sometimes more, depending on how your hair is. And if your hair's dropping a lot, it means you might not have enough product. It might also mean you have too much product. So experiment and continue to see how much product works best for your hair. I've got it down to a fine art now because I've been doing this for years. So I know exactly how much I need to create the right amount of hold. So curls are separated, they're beautiful and frizz-free, as you can see. So now we're gonna scrunch out the crunch properly with our scrunch out the crunch. I only use a little bit of this because a little can go a long way. So I just do half a pump, a little bit more. You might wanna do, again, it's all about experimenting. I try and get it all across my palms. And I've got most crunch up here, so I'm gonna focus on my fringe and then bring it around. And that's gonna get, that's gonna get rid of the rest of the crunch that is in your hair if you haven't already gotten rid of it by separating your curls. You might need to also separate little bits. Having a fringe is definitely more difficult doing this process. You want to add a little bit more volume. Again, if you're going to add volume, you might also add a little bit of frizz, but I personally like that. So I just go in with my hands and my fingers flat out, do a little shake, and then pull it back out. I will show you the difference. I find for this haircut, really adding the volume works a lot better. As you can see the difference. There is another way to add volume. You can use a pick. All you need to do is add it in, fluff it, and then let it go again. Very gently. Again, with this particular method, it is about less frizz. So that's what we're trying to do. Normally I'd be all over the place. And here are our results. Very happy. There's the least amount of frizz in my hair, which is exactly what we were going for with this kit. So I hope that you've had amazing results. Before I finalize everything, don't forget, we also have the Treat Your Hair Right 10-minute mask to use, I would say every 2 weeks if you're really wanting to add hydration. I use it every 2 weeks. Instructions are on the back. However, I'm gonna give you a little bit of information on this. I add it when my hair is semi-dry. So what I do is I spray my hair with water and then I add it in sections and I twist it, pop it up into my hair wrap here, and I leave it for the full 10 minutes. And then when I go and shower, all I do is quickly wet my scalp, add a little shampoo, scrub, 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 and then let it rinse with cold water. So that is the best way to use this. We have some reels that show that, or you can use it in the shower and pop it in and, you know, pop your hair up and then get back in the shower after. Whatever works for you, try it out. Okay, so I'm signing off now. This has been a very long video, I know, but I hope that it has helped you to create some frizz off curls as much as you can. Don't give up, because honestly, the more you try it and the more you do it, the better you get. This has been 2.5 years of trialing, and it's now, I've perfected it to a point where I love the results. Every hair is different. You might have severely damaged hair, and that is going to take time to recover. So continue to hydrate. So continue to use the hydration shampoo and conditioner, continue to use the 10-minute mask, and I would maybe suggest doing that more. Wash your hair less, because washing it is going to dry it out as well. And come over to the Curl Club on Facebook. You can just sign up with us, and it's free. And there are a lot of things going in there. We talk about certain issues, and we will cover all kinds of topics. So come in if you have a question, ask there, or you can simply DM us or email us. So it's bosscurl.co on DM, or you can email hello@bosscurlco.com. And then if you love our products, then come along and get to www.bosscurlco.com, and all you have to do is top up when necessary. So I would say your shampoo, your conditioner, and your leave-in conditioner are probably the two things that are going to go really fast. So continue to buy these. These come in 200 mils as well. And the shampoos and conditioners come in 1 litre as well. So if you really want to stock up, then do that. Don't forget your BCCVIP code, which will get you a discount every time you shop with us. Don't forget to share your photos and videos with us. We love to see them on Instagram or Facebook. Just tag us and then use the hashtag bosscurlmethod, and we will pick them up. And if you have any questions, please ask. Thank you. Now go forth and celebrate your curls.